you all know the game. Rob, you're a brave man. This is a tough panel. My job is to keep the
abuse up.
The microphone moving around, and try to keep it fair. So it's a tough job. The less you say, the better. And I mean that in the most respectful way. It's just that what I see happening on a lot of these is that there's just too much time taken in explaining, and do less explaining, try to get what you want, and let the panel do its job. Okay? Rob, you're on.
Okay, I'm on. I want to first thank everyone for all of the friendship, the time and effort coming here and making lots of great friends amongst each other, and especially all the panel's time in the bar, early, late, in between, with Coke, with drinks, whatever. So I'm going to try and address the crowd this way. I'm not trying, because it's kind of hard to go like this. My name, as some of you know, is Rob Canyon. What you may not know is I build million-dollar businesses. And I've been doing that for over 18 years. I've been building them for others and with others on more of a one-to-one individual basis. And my goal with coming here and being part of the hot seat and my project or my offer is to take that from more of an individual coaching basis to a group coaching basis. My intention is to offer a program that more people can take advantage of on a more global scale around the world, using whatever technologies are necessary, either in a live situation or in virtual situations. The promise of my program is simply this: I'll take anyone from anywhere they are in their business over a 12-month period of weekly coaching sessions. It's a group coaching session from zero to an additional $100,000 in revenue in 12 months. Now, I don't want to scare some of the people that may not know what business they should be in, or what if their business is one that can be scaled. I've scaled and built many different companies, and there's a good chance that whatever you're doing can be scaled, because I haven't seen too many that don't. Before I tell you a little bit about how I can do that, I just thought I'd give you a couple of quick comments from some of my recent clients. Because sometimes people believe I'm going to do a lot of work for 3 or 4 or 5 months and then start seeing results, and the bang for the buck will all come in at the end.
Rob, I just want to encourage you to save the time for credibility. You've got credibility with this group right here.
Okay, so that's good. So really, and I'm going to get to just 4 questions, and I'm going to really run through them all quickly and let you answer them as you want them. But simply this, I think I've told you my plan. I believe the price point for that, for me, is $1,497 for that 12-month coaching. I think it's really extremely reasonable. And really, I've always built my businesses, as I'll recommend to others, by building on testimonials and the success of others. So I'm looking for ways that we can grow that around the world. My 4 questions are this. They're in here somewhere. 1, when we're talking about coaching and taking people and growing their businesses at a large level, a large rate, it's really important to get that critical first impression. So I'm looking for some guidance of how you see as the best way to make those critical first impressions amongst qualified buyers. Secondly, what you consider for what I'm trying to do to be the best lead generation tools. Third, how best to package my training, services, and support to appeal to the global market, to here and around the world. And finally, if there's just any additional pricing or strategy tidbits that you can provide to help me, avoid the minefields of growing fast and forward.
I was first. This is going to be kind of tough. I want to teach you a formula that we teach. And to be able to do that in less than a half hour here is going to be a little bit difficult for me. So bear with me. But the short version is you want to build a squeeze page to build up your mailing list. That's a given. And make 10 videos. And those videos deal with the 10 most frequently asked questions that somebody might have. Make 10 videos about what people should be asking. We call this the 10-10-4 formula. 10 most questions people should be asking about your product or service. Now, I'm answering your first two questions. You're building up credibility. Each one of those videos has a call to action. That call to action is to take people to your squeeze page, to your lead page, we call them. And put each one of those up, submit them through, I know this really cool program that does that. It's called Traffic Geyser. And you can get it for $1. Just go online, trafficgeyser.com. You get it for $1 for the first month. Submit those videos out. They'll go out to many thousands of places. And you multiply that times 20. Just do the math. You'll get a tremendous amount of exposure out of that. On the lead page, what you want to do, each one that comes in, you've got a little video on your lead page. The lead page says basically, hey, I saw you came in for my video. That's great. How would you like 19 more? Just sign up over there. And then you know what to do with the rest of it.
So 10 of the videos would be the questions they ask, and the additional 10 would be on the questions they should be asking.
They should be asking.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the expert.
Right, yeah.
You're the expert. You're teaching them.
Yeah.
Space them out a little bit, maybe every day, put out a different one,
Okay.
different keywords, titles, and stuff like that. And you'll get a tremendous amount of traffic coming back to you.
Excellent, thank you.
I do exactly what you're looking to do. I do it all the time. I've tested this for the past 3.5 years, and I teach over 2,000 students from around the world to do exactly what you're looking to do. The first thing you want to do is create as much urgency as possible to limit that program to the minimum amount of people. If you go over 100 people in a year, it's going to become very difficult, and they're going to become soaking up your time a lot, okay? So first thing you want to do is qualify your people in, create a qualification system. Don't let just anybody enroll into your program, because what you're going to find is you're going to have people that virally feed off of your time. And collectively, if you're doing it on a group basis online using virtual conference rooms, things like that, those people that are weighing down on you will weigh down on the rest of your program, the rest of your students, okay? And then you have to be willing to say, well, if I'm doing this group time, how much individual time am I going to do? I always charge extra for individual time. Every month I give each person an hour a month of my time for free. After that I charge $4.50 an hour if they want any more of my time. That gives them perceived value of what you're willing to do. Next thing is I can't teach you because it would take me about 3 hours to teach it to you. But I want to give you full access to my program so you can duplicate it, you can model it, and you can follow the entire marketing process. So I'll give you my number and I'll coach you every week for 6 months for free.
Appreciate it, man.
All right?
Can I just ask a clarifying question real fast? I didn't hear who your target audience is, and I kind of think that might be helpful as we're designing the marketing strategies to actually get you to the right clients.
Sure. I really believe the target market are people that either just getting started or struggling started people, and really to work through that target market because I've worked at that offline, I'm good at that offline, and I think that's where the biggest need is, especially these days, and you're going to actually, I believe, get people acting in this tight market. Okay.
I've got a couple of things for you. Number one is, as a consultant, I can tell you point blank, $14.97 at a price point is way too cheap.
Right.
Way too cheap. I would charge them $14.97 if you're going to go that route as a sign up, and then take a percentage of the profits that are generated after you come on board, because then they really have nothing to lose from that point. Another thing I've got is about lead generation that will help you. Frank came up with some stuff that's really awesome. It does work. Another thing you can do is get a perceived expert, another consultant that might do a blog talk radio show with you or something similar to that, turn it into an MP3, put it out there as kind of an evergreen lead generation process that they can download for free that pre-sells them on exactly what you're doing so that you get the targeted leads that are already pre-sold on you.
Okay. About the teacher, teleseminars, obviously. When you price and when you target, I agree completely with Melanie, and Adam was over here trying to get the mic to say the same thing. I would work with people who are already making $50,000 to $100,000 in their business, who have the capital, who see the results already from a little bit of what they've done, and you can take them to that $1 million mark faster, then you can probably take a person from 0 to 100. Would you agree with that? I don't need a dialogue, just yes or no.
I agree, sure, yes.
Okay, so that process will qualify your list, and you can charge them $14.97 per month to be in your program, with the year program as the expectation. That would be my suggestion for you for that.
Can I just ask a quick follow-up? Would, you know, and I've dealt with all groups, people making multi-seven-figure businesses and so forth. Does that negate doing something like Traffic-Geyser? No? Right. But I'm saying, are the people making 50 and 100,000 a year looking for that next?
All right,
are they going on?
can I pitch in something here? Adam Urbanski, the marketing mentor, and just like your first expert, I actually do what you want to do. We have a program called Navigator, and you've got two parts of it. One is the training, and the second part is the coaching. So as much as possible, we automate the training. Like in our case, we've got video, audio, and transcripts and PDFs. Everything is downloadable automatically because training takes hours. Coaching can take 5 minutes. And then you want to group the coaching as much as possible, so it's up to the audience to use it up. And then you want to give them a chance to coach each other as much as possible, because you're going to have some participants that are totally passive and some that are very outspoken, and they'll be your lead dogs. They will take the coaching over for you. One of the difficulties that I think you're going to have is, if I want to sell a product that says how to make $100,000 a year, it's a crappy product. If I want to sell a product that's how to make $100,000 a year running a coffee kiosk, that's a much better product. So the challenge you're running into is the hardest part of starting a business is helping somebody figure out what they actually do and for who they do it. And that's what you're trying to do in a group setting. It's almost an unachievable task, so to speak. So one of the lead generators for you may be to look up different niche products that say how to start okay, how to start a coffee kiosk, how to start a auto repair business, how to start a bookkeeping business. And from all those people that sell those products, contact them and say, hey, would you pitch my product to your audience? Because they can say a specific message and say, hey, I found a program, how to take your bookkeeping business to $100,000 a year, how to run your coffee kiosk at $100,000 a year. So that could be a really good ramp up for you when you get it going. Okay? And it's going.
Gina Gaudio Graves, the JV Queen. Sorry, I've been waiting for it. I would suggest that you try to find a way that you can build this as a system. The way that I would suggest doing it is that don't try going out and just selling this program. Let people qualify themselves to even get there. My high-end coaching program, there's no sales letter up online. People can't go and try and buy it. Trying to sell a high-end coaching program that way is very, very difficult. You're going to get conversions that are terrible. Find a different way to do it. Get some low-end products out there that really help solve a problem for your audience. Use those low-end products to really wow them. They shouldn't be high-priced. They should be things that really show them what you're trying to help them to do. Use that to create a system where that can then qualify them to go to the next level. Kind of let them raise their hand to say, hey, I want to go to the next level. It'll help you get more qualified people. Get them into a strategy session, and on that strategy session, really focus on getting them to see what their problem is. And as you're doing that, show them why it's going to cost them so much to not buy this. It will help to build the value up. And also make sure that you're building this in a way that is scalable so that it's not just you having to do the coaching, because otherwise you're really putting a cap on what you're going to earn down the road.
So just a quick follow-up. On the price point of a product like that, the front-end product, do you see a certain price point of a front-end product like that?
There's no cap on it at all.
No cap at all.
None.
Like me today.
There we go. Alan.
I think I left my cap at the restaurant. Free hat. Shoney's. No, I'm sorry. I didn't want to take up too much time, but on the whole idea of publishing, which, by the way, that's my specialty.
Yeah.
Warren and I just had an arm wrestling match back here, and I won this time. So I just wanted to tell you how to do this quickly, because you hear publish an ebook or put together a book, instantly you think writing. It's going to take forever. You've got case studies, don't you? Lots of them. Put together a book of case studies. Make your star pupils real stars. All you got to do is interview them, have it transcribed, turn it into a book. It's a 300-page sales letter. And there will be examples in there that fit almost every industry you could help. So now no one's wondering, what do I do? Does this fit me? Whatever.
Great.
That was my tip.
What's your modality? How do you actually do it? Because the one thing I think we're seeing here is I think you need to have a lot of concentration on what's your differentiating factor from everybody else. Because you've got a stage full of people who we could all raise our hands, yeah, we do what you do. So, but we all come at it from a very different angle. And if you are familiar with our personas out there and things like that, everybody knows us for different types of things within that realm of building million-dollar businesses. So what are you going to do that's going to make it different?
Every successful business I've built or coached to build comes from building a product, building off of a service, providing a service. And that's the fastest way to market, fastest way to build testimonials, and fastest way to create some success under your belt for your business venture. That's the way all big businesses do it anyways. And then basically from a standpoint of a successful business that you're striving for, let's say, great success and testimonials, you can take that and grow your business only one of 5 ways. Either into premium services for individuals, premium services for groups, especially in the internet marketing community, into how-to products, premium physical products or premium physical products combination services, so forth. So what I do when I work with my clients is I quickly find out what their true strengths and weaknesses are to building a business fast. I'm not very good talking to my wife. Okay, that's great. But that's not, so I quickly analyze the strengths and weaknesses they bring to the table. Then I take my 18 years of knowing what works and what doesn't, and we basically figure out exactly the product the right product for them, starting with a service, the right market they're going after, the right competition, and then I show them how to basically, get a running start and run through that and continue to grow, and so forth.
Still sounds like what I think most of us do, so it might be helpful to get with somebody who can really help you pull that language apart a little bit more. One thing I wanted to challenge you around a little bit is to maybe go to the 10,000 foot level, because I think sometimes we look at, okay, I want to get leverage, I want to build something really quick that I can get out there to market and start replacing the one-to-one model. But a lot of times people make the mistake of just designing something that's right in front of them. And what I'm hearing is that you're really missing some potential opportunities to start from the big view and say, okay, I've got really 2 markets I can serve. I've got the people who, like Bob was saying, hey, these people that are in the 6 figures, you could take them to $1 million much faster. But maybe if you look at this and map it out from here's my entire architecture of where I want to move people, and you say, for the people that are in 6 figures, this is my consulting model. If you don't charge at least $1,500, you're not charging enough a month. And I would say more like $3,000 to $4,000 a month. And then design something that's more, consider some e-learning modules. Take all this stuff, this is what we do with our mid-group, is we take all of our technologies that we teach them, we've designed 20-minute videos that deliver that content, so I'm not doing that. I make them go through that before they can ever qualify to work with me privately. So then if they're not willing to do that, they're never going to make it with me because I'm going to push them too hard. So that might be one other thing to do, but I'd really like to challenge you to think at the 10,000 foot level, design the entire thing, then figure it out, because you can grow your under 6 figure people to be ready for your bigger program that way.
Everyone is telling you need to figure out exactly who your customer is. And to do all the things that you're looking to do, you definitely have to do that. You have to find them, figure out exactly who they are, and then for your lead gen, you have to cater to your audience. You have to understand the exact message you're putting out, and the video idea was great, teleseminars are great, but you've got to use as many strategies as possible, because your customer, you may have one that loves video. You may have another one that will never watch a video, that wants audio. So they can listen to it on their iPod on their way to work. You may have one that wants to read articles. You'd love to get press attention, right? So you need to use as many pieces to get your message in front of your entire audience as quickly as humanly possible. All right?
Great, thanks.
I just want to say one thing to follow up on what Frank said and what Alan said. all the mechanics of the lead gen that Ross spelled out, that a bunch of people spelled out, I think it's irrelevant. I think you already have the pieces of the puzzle in the success stories that you have, and you got to get them forward. If you're going to use Frank's idea of the traffic geyser, get the success stories out there, because that's what's going to. Alan just gave you a book, which is what Gina, you've got people already who've had success with what you've done.
Yeah.
That's going to be the best thing into whatever you design the program to be.
Just a couple extremely quick thoughts for you. One of them on scaling. It sounds like you want to scale this. Everyone's telling you to get the book out there, use the testimonials. I would look at moving your most successful students up into like a platinum coaching role where they're coaching other students once they've reached that level. So you sit up here and you put your most successful students under here, and it's going to give you and them a ton of credibility, and it's also going to put that buffer that you need in place. So I would look at getting a message out there of those people, to not only to bring people in, but also to take the load off you, because it will scale too quickly for you to deal with if you do it right. So if you're having them contact your people either through an autoresponder or through calls or whatever, and you're rubbing your influence off on them, it's going to work really well for you. Okay, and in terms of lead gen, last quick thought, do a weekly call. And when people opt into your list, every 7th day they get an invitation to a special one-time only call. You can even pre-record the first 50 minutes of it. Record it until you get it perfect, and then throw some testimonials on at minute 40 or 50 or whatever, and then come on and answer questions for 5 minutes and close them all directly right into that expensive program. And have it run every single week.
Automatic.
I know we're out of time, so I'll be very, very fast. There are several different ways to niche this down, and that's going to be one of your keys. And somebody had mentioned horizontal niching, which is the various markets like the coffee shops and things like that. But there's also vertical niching, which is what I want you to consider. A person who doesn't have an idea and doesn't have a business model is a very different customer from somebody who already has a business that's already generating enough revenue for them to live, but not enough revenue for them to have employees and to have a life. And I want you to consider attempting to track the second market, not the first. Because I think there are a lot of people out there pushing the how to start a business market. And I think you have significant expertise in growing a business from the $70,000 to $100,000 a year, just enough to quit my day job. But then what do? Who's the first person I hire? Do I get an office? Do I need an office? Things like that. Those are the kind of questions that you can answer, and that's a very targeted niche, and it's a very lucrative niche, because these are the folks who now have enough money to pay you $1,000 a month for coaching. The people who are starting the business don't often have that kind of money. They're still just trying to make ends meet. And also considering the fact that if you target people who've just quit their day job, now they've freed up enough time to get your coaching and really grab the benefits of it. So consider that sort of vertical, revenue niching. That's all I wanted to say.
One more. We're going to run a little bit over because we started late. Anybody else? We got it? Ron?
Very quickly, go back to something Adam said yesterday. I think you're getting great advice about don't focus on the newbie market, because you got so much credibility and building and foundation to lay there. You're going to be wasting all of your time trying to do that. Think about steps, not a slow build. And Adam used an expression yesterday that would be helpful for everyone to remember. You're the get them over the hump guy. They know how to get to the 50 or 75,000, but you can get them over the hump and get them to the $250,000, the 500,000. And that's the way I think you need to go after your market.
Great, thanks.
All right, thanks, Rob. Was that helpful?
Thank you very much. That was super.
Great.
Appreciate everybody